Baba, it's always a delight to have you guys back. Ewa Nigeria podcast. And please don't forget to keep sharing. And of course, most importantly, let the conversations continue. I have in the studio today a very good friend of mine, a senior brother, and I look to him, look forward, what's the word now? Look up to him. I look up to him a lot and I'm very impressed. I mean, if people ask me questions around why are you still in Ekiti State, blah, 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 blah. You know, sometimes when our minds want to start playing trick on us, we look at people like him and say, okay, well, yeah, we can't, both of us can be making mistakes, right? Either one person is doing something wrong or the other, but me, I mean, that's a good way. Means that we're doing the right thing. So he's known by the popular name Farmer Lawrence, and of course is Mr. Mayowa.
Sir.
Mayowa Ekundayo is his name. Bamami, it's good to have you.
Interestingly, I'm not sure if it was after I started listening to your short clips on Instagram that I also started adopting, that I also adopted the Babami.
Oh, yeah. What do you have, Baba? Well, it's great to have you here today.
I'm pleased to be here. Another problem, prophetically speaking, I think I seen this like 2 years ago.
Oh.
A podcast about Ayo Nigeria.
Oh,
and
wow.
So when you reached out, I just told myself, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's a no-brainer, yes.
Yeah.
And this.
We're on assignment, so it's not the regular, and it's great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we have a lot to talk about. Young persons, entrepreneurship in Ekiti State, the creative industry, and I would like to start this way. I did it in my introduction, but first, I know who you are, and I know what you do, the skill you do it.
Yes.
You're a farmer, you sell tomatoes. Believe it. When he says that, I'm always wondering, are you driving what you're driving? Tomato and pepper, like what? But why are you still in Ekiti?
Interestingly, let's start from how I came to Ekiti.
Okay.
First of all, it's enemy, so consecrate foreign account.
Yeah.
From a born, interestingly, born on for the Misales Ekiti.
Ekiti.
It's Ekiti to be precise, and then moved to Lagos. My dad, military officer, retired now. So I was shipped to Lagos.
Oh, okay.
And university brought me back to Ekiti State. And service, after service.
What university?
University of Ekiti.
Yeah, Lunash. And not X.
Not X.
And not to the
Let's know our left. Right. So went back to Lagos after service, greener pastures, search for greener pastures. And I got a job. Was interviewed in Lagos and then they shipped me back to Ekiti.
It's a lot of shipment.
And interestingly, I didn't believe that I would stay in Lagos, Ekiti for long, because I kept telling the people, my colleagues at the office, that I'm going back to Lagos. I'm going back to Lagos. I can't live here. It took one training in Lagos at Apapa for me to finally make up my mind. No, I think this peaceful life is for me.
Yeah.
And then I came back to Ekiti State. But I needed to make Ekiti worth a while. So I was living in Ekiti State, but I was not of Ekiti.
Yeah.
Right? So I started business almost... Okay, I came back to Ekiti 2011, November 1, 2011. I pretty much started business almost immediately. My regular 8 to 5, not 9 to 5, 8 to 5. And then I found woman. And the woman. Because honestly, I go back to Lagos now because of my business, right? It takes me everywhere. And most people ask me, why are you in Ekiti?
Yeah.
And the default response, my wife is in Ekiti. I'm not even saying it's I've built a business in Ekiti. I'll say my family is in Ekiti. So where else do you want me to be? So wife, family, business has kept me in Ekiti. And to be honest, Ekiti baby. That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I'm doing. So maybe if I tried other locations, maybe Lagos, maybe I would have done better, but you never
Maybe you never know. That's what I say. There's no assurance anywhere.
So, but I mean, I came here, I'm doing well. I like to think that I'm a reference point for young folks,
Yes, you are. That's why. Yeah.
publicly speaking.
Yeah.
Or for young folks doing things right. So, yeah,
Great.
thank you.
And thank you so much for staying back in Ekiti. Let's look at that narrative around doing business, prospering in Ekiti. Loads of young persons think for locations in 2026, 21st century, location is still central in the conversations with a lot of people, where you see core members who come and say they can't stay in Ekiti. You see people probably graduated from universities, even our federal universities, and they're dragging us on Twitter, insulting the states, and they're saying a lot of terrible things about Ekiti. What exactly is your perspective about this, especially for young persons who are consistently wanting to migrate out of Ekiti? Maybe I should tie it to this question.
Yeah.
Can you really do prosper? Can you prosper in the state?
Yeah, and the emphatic response to that is yes, yeah. But let me give some perspective to it. When I started business in Ekiti, I think so. I'm a very spontaneous guy, right? I don't think too deep about things before jumping into them. My wife holds me back sometimes.
Well, I'm grateful you mentioned.
Guy, hold on, you know. So I didn't start off to be prosperous. I didn't start off to make money, and that's the sincere truth.
It's not motivation.
It was not motivation. So, but I mean, I think it was last year. I had a deep thought to say, okay, Mayowa, what made you who you became or who you have become? And then I remember I traced it back to a book that I read, Real Money by Pastor Sam Adeyemi. And I noticed that a lot changed. So the change was not instantaneous, right? But gradually, I remember that almost all the principles in that book I have become. But significantly, was something that I look back to and I say, maybe this is the reason I am doing all that I'm doing in Ekiti State. I'm for Ekiti State. Was a comment that Ayo-Akande, you know him.
I do.
I mean, that
Yeah.
past, he just said it once, and he said, we are the forerunners of the real entrepreneurship in Ekiti State. And he said, if anything is going to change in Ekiti State, we are the ones to make it happen. And I think he also painted the picture to say, if you go to Lagos today, you see this high-rise
buildings,
this business, that business. Said people put them
there.
right? And and credits to Ayo-Akande. He said so many things directly and indirectly to me that I want to reference to say, okay, these are words that I think have formed my resilience in the entrepreneurship space. Some passing words like, we are watching you.
Yeah.
I really Ayo-Akande said that to me once, and I'm like, initially it sounded like, why are you watching me?
As in, why am I?
But over time, when you think about it, you say, oh, okay, you cannot afford to fail. You cannot afford to, do anyhow. Because, so Ayo-Akande said it. Some people are not saying it, but that's exactly what they're doing.
They are doing.
Right. So, I like the fact that, I just established to my wife last year, telling her that how I got here, I honestly don't know, but I know that there is a divine orchestration that has, sort of helped where I moved to, who I spoke to, people that have said yes to me, people who now serve as motivations, to say, Mayowa, I know when you started, I like what you're doing, I like your consistency, I like how you have evolved. To be honest with you, most of these things, I am just doing them part-time. My wife says I'm not an entrepreneur.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's largely because of my relationship with money, right?
What's my relationship with money like?
First, so I don't like to see money in my account, first of all.
I think that I get this.
I don't like to see money in my
I want
account.
to have a chunk. I want to
Just go like you doing it, but do something. So if the money is not actively working for me,
Yes.
it is actively blessing someone. So
And most times it's always blessing that way.
you understand? So I think my money attitude, if I have to put it that way, changed the moment I got married because Baba, I'm not one of those men who say that their women don't know how much they earn.
Yeah.
I declare. Because if I don't declare, it will go.
It will go.
Right.
And then you will decline.
Yes, sir. So, I mean, she came, we got married. She came into the business almost immediately. I started managing the finance. And that's how I can say that if she is literally my, what's that thing?
CFO.
Accountability.
Yeah, partner.
And so on. Even everything about the word accountability is right because she manages.
Yeah, Eri.
For me, if the money is there, just come with your sorry tale. Hey, yeah. And if only would say, I'm already saying, so how much? I tell that to today. I said it today. My neighbor has issues with PHCN people.
Yeah.
And then I saw that she was in that mood, and then she said everything, and I'm like, so you know the way, right?
And I'm imagining I won't come and looking at you like,
if I get that money that time,
you go
for those things, okay, let's contribute quarter of it.
Yes.
But then again, I am not in charge of the money. Now I have to, and it's a great escape for me to say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not in charge of. I will have to talk to me. They fail me. If I explain, so I'm not sure if I answered your questions. Actually, you didn't get my perspective of entrepreneurship. And
I see structure in that. I think that I should point that out. You know, the structure, even though it's internal, it's with all the
external.
But I see the structure in what you're talking about.
Even the external structure, I can't take money from the account or from go to the accountant and say I need money without document. So my money now that I have now come to embrace in the past 4 years are my side hustles. So yes, there is a business, but I also do side hustles. Right? So those side hustles now serve as the money that I keep in my pocket. I want to feel like the husband, or they feel like the man. She's saying sometimes I'm spending what she's saying. Where are you getting paid?
I guess I don't.
Out of the bag. So side hustles is answering to that. And my perception to business, and I think this is not limited to Ekiti State, but this is how I have done businesses. It's answering to problems. When we started the yogurt business, it was, we don't have yogurts like this.
Why don't we?
How can we? You will be shocked. We traveled all the way to Ibadan in 2014 to first go meet somebody and say, okay, how can we get this thing into Ekiti State? Solvent.
Are you talking about the yogurt or the lemonade?
We started off with done a lot, man.
Wow. I know you've done apples.
Done school, done kerosene.
Did you do dance in school?
Yes, at some point. Briefly. So, but even for agriculture, it was agriculture 2018. It was in a small meeting, and the conversation just started. They know him, Adorabemi Fashaki, and then Tunji Aribase. And the conversation was around, farmers are growing stuff. There is 60% post-harvest losses. And as you're having all of this conversation, I'm just saying, why? Chibun journey is food. Why are we not able to sell these things? So, that's how my journey into agriculture started. So
solving a problem.
What we started November last year was exactly what we wanted, what I wanted to do in 2019.
And so you waited that number of years.
Journey was first understanding the sector, being in the sector.
Let's talk about it. Understanding the sector, vegetables.
Yes.
Perishable.
Originally, it was not perishable. So something led me to perishable vegetables. I wanted to do cassava. I started off with maize. I got
you with Yeah.
There was that project.
Yeah. Because I saw it.
There was in soybeans, you know, cleared 50 hectares in partnership with Pastor Tunji Maribasoye, Akrademi, and some other people, you know, and then the major problem of food security in Nigeria, insecurity, played right in my face. And that was, and I'd quit my job.
Hey.
Right? I quit my job. There was no way I was going back to say, oh yeah, Ed Banipada,
No work.
and I traveled at some point luckily for me also, I traveled to Thailand some years back to also understudy the sector. So by the time insecurity chased me out of big farmlands, I knew that I didn't need big farmland. I only needed to play in the safe space of outskirts, small lands to play in the vegetable value chain and make some safe monies for myself. That's how the journey, you know, took another turn and, you know, brought us here.
Wow. Okay, so I see how you've spoken about doing different things, doing things differently, solving problems. And let's look at this demagogue, this demon within this business space here, where everybody just does the same thing. I'm going to direct building hotels. Everybody's building hotels. Radio stations, there was a time that we didn't have more than 2. Now we have a lot, almost spilling into 9, and many more still coming up. Bars, right? Everybody's just doing that. And whatever direction someone faces, shopping malls, right? Malls, right? And then everybody's doing it. But nobody's thinking outside the box. Nobody's looking at podcast studios like this. Nobody's looking at grocery stores where we can get natural fruits, juice, natural healthy drinks. Nobody's looking at production studios, right? Audio studios. Nobody's looking at all of these things that make places like Lagos appealing to us. Because, I mean, just like I told you before we started recording, if everybody visits the beach in Lagos, we're all going to come back bleached, tired, because there's salt in the water, right? And then we're going to be tired.
By the way, I think the beach is it's a boarding place.
Well, it depends on the beach you go to, but you see the variety that
beach is
I get into. If you don't get it, forget about it. But you know the flavor and the variety that space comes. What do you think about this, and how can we change that? Because you already are a variety person. You are in an industry, you started business, but I don't think anybody has thought of starting. Maybe at that scale. So let me say maybe the first at that scale. And how we can change this mindset of people wanting to do what everybody else is doing.
I mean, one direct response is exposure, right? The Holy Book says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. What you don't know, you don't become. So most times,
so we had a lot of rich people here, but
I was going there, right? The average Ekiti person, I'm not sorry to say, born, bred, schooled, you know, everything, maybe service outside and then came back. No exposure. And it is why we are the way we are. So, and I like to think that the first problem one of the major problems that you must encounter as an entrepreneur is the problem of money after you have discovered a problem. Not the other way around.
Money after you discover the problem. So a problem first, then money.
Then money to execute. So, but what we see is people who have resources, and then they're now asking, "What do we do?" Right? So, I mean, bro, you can't copy a hotel model without having money for hotel.
True.
Right? True. But there is something that is missing. And that missing link is called feasibility study. And developing a business plan to fit into your feasibility study. So most businesses, and I don't think it's an Ekiti thing alone, but it's here. Most businesses spring up because they see and then there's an assumption that this person is making money. See the people that are pouring into this place.
Yeah.
We should be able to. And I also do not think that people think like that to
Spoil or ruin the business. Of course.
of course business.
Yeah.
They just want a piece of the pie.
Piece of the pie. Yeah. I mean, everybody, every same person wanted to.
No, the law must be called. I have this money that is just sitting there doing nothing. This is a hotel. So this is a great hotel I can replicate. And then they go into it.
Yeah.
And of course, models like this, business models like this are not sustainable because you don't have data that is driving. You don't have,
It's not data.
and when the chips are down, you don't have, there is no, what brought me here?
Yeah.
You understand? There's no, how did I get here? Why did I say I would do this? And I've started today. So that's exactly what it's, but of course, I'm not surprised. The honest truth is, while we were developing the model for the grocery store, I told my team, I said, we would start, and in less than a month, people would start. I mean, and so when we drive through Adebayo and we see, our wife is calling me, babe, this brings somebody. I said, yeah, we expected it.
Yeah.
But what that did to us at the start is also to preempt what can happen and build strategies, right? Now, I told you I was somewhere today, right?
Yeah.
It was us executing a strategy, right? We know that something will come up, people will come up, but how do you stay competitive? How do you own the markets even when they come in?
Yeah.
Right?
Because you can't stop them from coming on, right? You can't stop them.
And you can't even hate them for coming.
I mean, that 8 part is what we should remove. She saw the segment me torí pé kò fẹ́ kí n tà.
Baba, welcome. Welcome, man.
Àjọ máa ta ni.
And, just this own self, I was sharing with my wife. I was sharing with my wife, and I said, yeah, that I'm coming. It took us 5 years to understand what we want to do. They will understand very quick. You get so yeah. Of course, copying is allowed. There's even a book. I've forgotten how to copyright. I can't remember the title of the book, but there is a book. I bought it once. I can't remember the title now. That encourages copying.
Copying, yeah.
They encourage copying, not starting all over.
Yeah.
If someone has done it before, just take it over. Just take it over from there, model and do something, but just do it differently.
Yeah.
And as you're doing it differently, bottom line is you're solving a problem. And always answer that question: what problem am I solving? Right. And there is the first mover advantage, and there is also the first mover disadvantage. Yeah. The first mover disadvantage is that you're not able to see that people can come in, study your flaws.
Yeah, and then implement to be better.
And be better than you, and then they keep you out of the market. Yeah. That's the first mover disadvantage. Yeah. Right? But the first mover advantage are the first people that everyone is knowing, and they are coming. So and I wouldn't even say that it's not a good thing for Ekiti. It's a good thing for Ekiti State.
And that's a new perspective.
It's a good thing for Ekiti State because at the end of the day, if you say you're solving a problem, it means that multiple people are coming into the space.
Solve the same problem.
Good for the people.
Well, maybe that's why Ekiti has become more hospitable, because we have a lot of hospitality.
Another angle.
Or, so much about Ekiti. But then, my next question would be about the young persons with skills. We have a lot of people within the creative industry, the likes of them, Goroso, Cruiselord. I'm deliberately mentioning their names because I know them. Jackie, and this for money to one way or the other sneak into the mainstream entertainment. Goroso is acting movies right now. Cruiselord is, I don't know where he's jumping to, but he just manages to trend. Jackie, people are singing with that slang, and we're just promoting our culture and all of this. But let's also look at so many other people who are not doing anything at all. And these few people, how do we increase the margin of more younger persons who are breaking the boundaries right here in Ekiti? Because I see people like Goroso who go to Lagos, film, come back. cruise lot will go to Lagos. In fact, it looks like these guys will just go and then come back, and this is their base. They're not I don't know if they're planning to jackpot, but whatever it is, but they're still here promoting our Ekiti, as it were. How do we increase that margin?
So first off, Boro's a great guy. And to be honest, the first time I saw his content, I didn't think much of it, right? I didn't expect him to blow. But it's beautiful to see him blow the way he has.
Yeah.
Right. And that also tells you that the marketplace, especially the Nigerian marketplace for the creatives, is very, very diverse, right? And it was until recently that I realized that there is a short, the curve, right?
Yeah.
Is for creatives.
Yeah.
Is short if you're not dynamic.
Dynamic, yeah.
In your approach, right? Maybe I don't have so much to say to the creatives in Ekiti State, but I mean, and the reason I say that is I've tried to attend some events, comedy shows, you know.
Let's talk about that. Why do you think I asked the question? How do we increase
Talk about
comedians?
And it's usually a thumbs down, lots of let down. You know, there's not. Maybe I'm just different, right? Maybe
I don't think so, but you know, because I also share the same sentiment.
Yeah.
I do share the same sentiment. Let me put it out there.
Sure.
That because if you've traveled and seen, I mean, I've seen comedians in Lagos. I MC events and they bring comedians.
Right.
And I see comedians and I'm drooling like on the spot. This guy is so brilliant.
Yes. There's a comedian in Ekiti States. I don't know if he's left Ekiti, but he's not an Ekiti guy. But absolutely.
I know it.
We mentioned his name.
Yeah, Uruwasa.
Guy.
Absolutely brilliant.
And you know, when I listen to Ororo Master and I listen to other comedians from Ekiti State, it's just world apart, right? And
What do you think could be the problem?
So there's also the part where you force comedy. I mean, if comedy is not your thing, you know, and I think most of the comedians in the Ekiti State are forced comedians, FORCED, you know, forced comedians, and you know, it's just not natural. I mean, I'm before I am consuming Mr. Funny's content.
Yeah.
But just looking at him, seeing his face, I'm already laughing.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedy.
There's basketball, Bovi, yeah.
And recently, I his last show in Abuja, I watched it on YouTube, and clean jokes, intelligent jokes, you know, just making jokes about our everyday lives. You're not trying to force, not trying to do comedy the way it was done in 2010.
Exactly. Try to understand
in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Right? Just making light of the situations that were conversation, and you know the way he says it, and you just lighten up and you laugh, and then you say this is real. So what I see about Ekiti State comedians is that they are not first. It's like a hustle thing for them.
Yeah.
You can talk, you know, but and maybe the comic in them appeals to a different type of people. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. Maybe it appeals because sometimes
you get into a room and people are laughing.
Exactly. Then I want to get expectations too high. Like okay,
let's bring it up. Let's try.
You get it. So, you know, you engaged me once and asked me if you host something similar.
Yeah.
Did I attend? And immediately I said yes. And then I said, oh, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. It
Depends.
depends on who you're breaking. So yes, for us to say, oh, it's AY Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know, it's the brand. It's a great guy. And then on the second thought, guy, okay, ring.
Anyway, we do hope that they get better, right?
Yeah.
And this is a charge to them to do much more. And big shout out to all the exceptional guys that are doing and changing the narrative. We mentioned their names. Some of them we've not mentioned your names, but if you can watch this, we celebrate you. But we need to do much more. So let's go back very quickly as we wind down.
Yeah.
Circle of Good. I wrote an article I mean, I interface with him like regularly, not every day. I'm not his wife.
Yeah.
And there's so much that this great man has done for me and a lot of other people. And then it inspired me to write an article one time.
I don't see it.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, I did, you know. I write a video on my channel. So, and I did from experience, the circle of good. And I'd like you to just speak very quickly about it because there's so much bad, there's so much hate, especially within Ekiti. You know, sometimes toxicity, you really do not get as much support as you should or want to get, all of that. So let's talk about the circle.
Circle of good. So I you know, Ekiti has been good to me, and that's the truth. Ekiti is good to me through the most unimaginable way.
Yes, and I really want to. When you say Ekiti has been good to you, is it like Ekiti, what was it for fun?
Let me tell you a quick story, and I think I've shared this particular with you. There was a time I was looking for a shop space, right? And I saw one, and I was told the shop space is going to go for 600,000 naira. I really wanted that space. When I eventually got the contact of the owner of the place, it turned out to be someone I know. Now, someone I serve on my desk when I was on paid employment, right?
You served this person while you were.
So by serving, the person just comes to the office like every other person that walks into the office.
Yeah.
I'm just always in my best attitude
towards
him, right? And he said, Mayowa, you are the one that wants that place. He said it to you, right? I'm like, yes, sir, I'm the one, sir. Said, I don't think I want to put that place up at the moment. I think we may have need for it. Yes, it's up for rent, but I'm not sure we want to use it. I'm like, so, and I really like that place, so but no problem, if you want to use it, that's good. Days later, the man calls me and was like, do you still want that place? And I'm like, yes. He said, come and take it.
Wow.
And just keep using it till I have a need for it.
Which means you're not paying 600,000.
No 600,000 naira. Wow. 2 years.
2 years.
Now me come up for there myself.
Wow.
Yeah. I will come up for there myself. Great. And not for once did they, him and his wife, make me feel uncomfortable about staying in this place. And if you ask me, I would say that's a 1.2 million naira in direct investment in my
your life.
Right. So, and that's one person. There is another couple in Ekiti State today that all I need to do is knock on their door. They'll be like, okay, you get them, go use them. Another space and tag. Maybe don't be direct. The NNPC sports. You know, we've been doing that thing that you saw.
Yeah.
How many years ago now? Maybe 3 or 4 years ago. We've been doing it since 2013.
Wow.
Right? And it's literally, okay, where do you want it? Put it in this one, put it here. Free of charge.
Free of charge.
No fees. Right? So, and for me, I strongly believe that when someone does good to you, pass it on.
Pass it on.
So one of my staff left us 2 years ago. No, last year. Tosin left us last year. It was my sales team lead. So he left for Ibadan. Marriage took him to Ibadan. And surprisingly, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, he messages me and it's like, sir, how much is your mentorship fee? And I'm like, I don't charge for mentorship. And he says, you should charge. He says, if you don't charge, I won't even enroll. And I'm like, well, for me, how I accessed mentorship was through service. No, I have a couple of mentors. And is that big people.
Yeah.
That I freely enter into their rooms, and it's usually a session.
True.
It's
not jesting. It's not. No. I think there are a lot of young people need to understand this thing about mentorship. It's not going to clean your mentor's house or
No.
sleep there. You like literally, I have results like that where I tell them I'm coming for 1 hour and we're talking about my progress in this quarter and my mistakes, and I need you to know and advise me and guide me, and I need you for this too. And that's what happened. Right.
And they're just excited because I am on a trajectory that they can relate to. Right. So I told Tosin, right? I said, freely I have received, freely I must give. I can't, it doesn't make sense to me. Even though some of my mentors, some of my mentees, my proteges, you know, it's amazing when, you know, they charge. It's honestly amazing to me.
I'm trying.
But it's for example,
I was inspired. You know, just I was inspired recently to like, guy, be like say you know, like money away.
So this, you know, I said something about my relationship with money earlier. I put structure. I try as much as possible to put structures in place. You know, I like to think that I don't actively chase money. I like to think that, right? I don't actively chase money, right? But I do things that will bring money and attract money, right? So, so if you owe me money, Baba, you most if you're not a responsible person, I most likely will not collect that money back from you
because of our
my relationship with money. And I think people should read that book also. And that's not to say that it's not good to chase money.
True.
It's do what you have to do to get money legitimately, right? And again, maybe it's also a personality thing where I'm not eager to collect the next thousands of dollars or thousands of naira, you know, but I'm just consistently making myself a person of resource and a person of value, right? And then somebody you want to work with, right? But I know I'm not. So sometimes people get to remind me, so how much? The first time I charged someone for consultation at the office, I charged the person 50,000. I wanted to try it out. I felt bad.
Why?
I don't go like, you know, I felt bad. I felt okay. Maybe the keyword is not bad, right? I felt uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. I do feel that, right?
And immediately I started attaching the money to something, and I'm telling the guy, okay, we have a training coming up. People are supposed to pay 50,000 this amount. Or what?
They're justifying.
You're the first. And guess what? After my session with the person was saying, I am glad I paid this money. I'm glad, you know, there's so much value. So much value. But for me, I'm like, okay, naturally, you do these things for free.
So why not monetize it?
I thought, all right, I'm about 50,000.
Which is a good move. But I also get the lesson on whatever good is done to you,
pass it on.
That's very important. And I can tell you that he does pass it on a lot of times. And I'm grateful to your person.
You're welcome.
As we close, politics and young persons. It's the political season. And not because it's the political season, but there's this trajectory for a lot of people to think that outside politics, they can't make it. And I've heard this a lot, where they say, like, it's people, they're civil servants and politicians.
Which is not bad for our image.
It's bad. And what's your opinion about this? Do you think it is still largely civil servant state? Do you think so?
Yes.
Oh, and I have a different ideology about that, because I mean, look at people like you.
I think it's getting better now. I think it's improving.
I can mention a lot of names. So people are now running businesses right here in Ekiti State. And then this is becoming like the big part of the economy. Right? People are paying highest taxpayers and all these people not affiliated to politics in any way. So I mean, they're not civil. Who builds the hotel? Civil servant? How much salary?
I told you once that there are few persons in the political space today, youth, that I respect. Very few people. And I've talked about the Tosin Adaras. I've mentioned your name, and I've mentioned Tiwa Komope in this conversation. And that's because I can trace a third address to them, or a second address. A second and a third address.
Yes. And it means they're not just doing one thing, they're doing many other things.
And I strongly think that if your first and your most the modal frequency of your earning is coming from politics, you are not a true leader. You're a tool.
You're a tool.
Yes. That's what.
If you're a politician,
Yeah.
you're a tool.
No. So it's no. So it's one thing if you. I mean, you are a politician. Tell you what, you can't even hide kind of a project. You're a politician. Doesn't need a politician.
Yeah.
And I see how Omope is also is also going.
Yeah.
Politician, right? But if, let's say it's in our lingua, if you suck today,
You stop.
you can tell them to go to hell.
Yeah.
You can tell them to go to hell. And what that means to me is that you're able to impress your opinion.
Yeah.
And say, this is bad. Right?
Yeah.
This is what you guys are doing is bad. Right? Without having to, forgive my words, kiss asses.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what the Ekiti political space is doing to the youth.
Yeah.
In Ekiti
By
state.
building people.
They're building tools, not people who forget the BB grammar that those people are saying, all those political juggernauts and all those big grammars that they use when they're in their political clouds, right? These guys are tools, right? They're the same people who will sit in meetings and plot another person's downfall, and because there is no second or third address, right? I had a conversation once with Pastor Tunji. He has an alternative view.
Yeah.
Yes, himself and his brother. They say, oh, politics is not of a particular color.
Yeah. It takes the color of full place.
And I say this, right? Get this youth out of the state to go and learn skills. Let them first go and practice leadership in the corporate space.
Yeah.
Let them go and understand how the corporate world operate. Let them understand how corporate governance work. And then come back.
The approach.
If they are so infested and think that infested intention, not invested, infested with the political madness that, as you say, I'm becoming passionate for.
Like it's a passionate conversation.
If they so think that this is what they are, they went to school, they read political science, and they can change, they will not change anything. My point is, as a youth, you must have a second address.
Yes, I believe.
Second address, at least the second address. By second address, have a job, have a business.
Yes.
Right? For which you have built the capacity to lead a structure. Not political structure. Lead a structure. You understand the economics of leading a structure, the economics of working, of raising funds, paying salaries. Even if you're not going to be the one directly paying it, understand how this thing works. Right? So, and that's how you don't get to where the treasury is and loot.
Because you understand what would cause an effect and not cause an effect. And you understand how the structure.
So that's why I said, I didn't mention earlier that I respect a few people in the space, and I mentioned your name. And I'm not saying this because we're doing this. I've said this to you several times, and I've said this behind you, right? I respect you. I respect Tosin. I respect Pastor Tunji Aringasoye. I respect Tiwa, and that's because I don't have to come to government house to find you. I have. There's your office. There is Tunji's office. There is Tiwa's office. There is Tosin paying salaries of people here in Ekiti State that are doing great stuff, right? And that for me is, so if I see your poster tomorrow, I know that your primary purpose of going there is not to prove to people that you've worked your way.
And I deserve it.
It's now your time. Do you understand what I'm saying, right? There's a purpose for which you're going there, and then we pray for you to be able to achieve it, right? So, and I'm sharing my story that to say that it's not like I've not had my own stints of trying to be in politics, right? I did quit my job in 2019, and I found myself being idle because my first business already had a structure. I was on autopilot. Didn't need me to do anything. Honestly, right? And I had to go back home, by home is Ekiti, to join local politics. I attended a few.
Okay, go back to your word. What was?
Yeah, one level, right? Ward level. I attended a few meetings. Even though the conversations were, not pretty much as deep as they should be, small talks as they call it.
Yeah.
And there was more small talks than real talks, right? But I went there until a particular meeting where the person just passed by and then said it. I'm sure he intentionally said it to my ears. The Tabangbi Bonda instance really no adro. It was not for fear of the gun. Yes, I'm afraid of the gun. Even though I'm born in the barrack, I've seen guns a few times. But it made me think deeper to say, oh, is this an inclusive aspect of local politics? Violence.
Yeah.
Right? It made me think deeper. And then I asked myself, part of the questions I asked myself was, if I continue and I get to the point where I need to use violence, will I employ violence? Or am I capable of employing violence? And then the ultimate question was, if this is your mission to change this mindset, do you have the resources to do it? And the answer for me at that time was no.
No.
So from that moment, I realized that I needed to build myself into a much more resourceful person economically, of course, I can't change everything, but whatever it is that you can change to say, before somebody will even respect you, to respect your perspective of that.
Exactly.
Invested something in that person's life. They must have respected it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, as youth, if we're not going to end up as tools, we must be empowered. And that's something no politician is going to give to you. I mean, be wrong by saying no politician will give it to you. Some politician may show you in their lifestyle that this is the way to go.
Yeah.
Well, ultimately, it's for you to realize it, that I need to go out.
I need to make that money, build my structure.
Yeah.
But then again, a lot of people think that politics is where they make the most money.
That's staying. That's the politics for money the politics and money is not designed to come into your pockets. Politics,
or the money in politics.
The money in politics, right? Is in politics. It's not designed to end up in your pockets. The money in politics is designed to build good roads, schools, make the lives of the average person better. Fun, interesting data that I came across recently, where people of over 200 million, with only 2% of us being able to warehouse 500,000 naira in our accounts. That's politically
2%, almost
2% of Nigerians have the ability to stuff and save 500,000 naira in their accounts for a long period of time. So we are an economy of poor people.
I never thought about it. I mean, it will take a minute.
Yeah.
To save, say, I put this 500,000 somewhere for a long time.
2%.
One of the concerns that I recently started having is the concept of loyalty, and especially in this environment, and then you are resorting to different various vulgar means to prove loyalty. What's your take on this?
So Yorubas will say that Idobalo can show, right? The fact that you're doing all those, all that thing that we call loyalty today, don't make you a loyal person, right? How many people have had to jump ships, when the economy is not in their tide, because of a political shakeup.
Yeah.
Right? So, and in all of this, and I see it, I like to admonish the ones that I can to say, you have a life outside of this,
Or don't you have a life? No. Sometimes you have to ask the question, because sometimes the way I see this comments and I'm wondering, guy, It be like say you don't want to travel out. It be like say you don't want to look back 10 years from now and be proud of yourself.
And the interesting thing, the people that for which you're fighting for using derogatory statements, are also looking at you, especially if they're the ones that have sense.
Yeah.
They're also looking at you like, okay, you've just fallen from here to here. Oh, great. Well done. But when I need sensible people, not you.
Yeah.
But when I need people who can help me shape it for people, come into the conversation, right?
And you could, some youth that don't, if that's what will get them into the system, some are also ready to do all of that to stay in the system.
Which cements what I said earlier about these youths being groomed
As tools.
I don't want to be a tool. I don't want to be that tool, right? I want to sit with you and let's have conversation.
Yeah.
I want you to pick my brain. I want to share ideas with you as to, and I want you to, when you're doing wrong, to be able to caution you and say, sir, you're not doing right with this. You're not doing right with this. I think you should look in this direction, right? So, but that's not what we are getting. That's not what we're getting, right? We're just getting, what we're getting, loyalty, if we without having to veer away from the conversation on loyalty. We should not get to the point where we are claiming to be loyal or we are trying to show the politician that we support, that we are loyal to him by cursing on other people. It's for me, the highest display of unintelligence.
But let's be realistic about it.
I've had to message some people to say, guy, you fall my hand.
But let's be realistic about this, because I'm going to sit on this because I'm within. A lot of my friends do it. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah.
And I see how they react to it. It's like saying, I've heard it before. You work somewhere and somebody's coming for that your job in whatever means, maybe by propaganda, lying. We all know that these things, we've heard that, one time governor built a university in Ghana, used our money to build a university in Ghana. And then we found out that it never existed, but it went around like wildfire, right? And in the attempt to combat fake news, negative propaganda, altercations will happen. And I've heard these people say they are defending, that's the word, they are defending the good that some people are trying to come and spoil. So let's balance this thing, right? In their own attempt of defense, if they, use vulgar words, insult, swear, because sometimes, Babami, some of these people know the rest. They will come at you with every single thing. So sometimes you probably need to do more ekpe, generational ekpe, so that they will backtrack and feel like, I'm just giving you another side of this.
And no matter how you say it, right, it's you doing your thing without losing your self-respect. Honestly. Because by the time they drag you into the mud and then you start fighting in the mud with them, come on, you're not one of them.
Especially at this age where there's camera everywhere and the internet never forgets.
You're not one of them. If you're going to defend whoever it is you're defending, defend with facts. And if you do not have facts, defend in a more civil manner. Say something, let them know that, this person is on this person's side, but he will never resort to, condescend to the point where he's using foul words. And that's where I stand, right? You don't have to be that defender, the avengers,
to prove any point.
You don't.
You won't feel bad. You won't feel bad if an employee of the post-harvest grocery doesn't defend maybe a bad PR against.
So again, it's not the responsibility of my staff to defend the organization. There is a department for that. There is the PR. That's why we have the communications department. So it's the role of the communications department to come up with strategies to defend the organization.
But what if the communication department is not doing enough?
Then you fire the person. Well, no, so I'm saying you fire the person because it means that it's incompetence on the person. Again, the person who is in charge cannot even use swear languages in the name of defending the organization.
Yeah.
personally, even if what you're doing, if you're is defending the, I won't take it. It means you're unprofessional, right? So, and the reason you're there is to design strategies, ethical strategies that works to defend the organization. And if you are not capable of doing that, then we go the legal way.
Oh yeah, defamation, all of that, suits that can. That makes sense because for me, I mean, I've had a lot of defamation lawsuits against a lot of people online, even within the states, and I see the way people come and say, "Hey, na koleto yen." I feel it and say maybe a governor dragged someone to court for for a statement that was not confirmed to be true,
Right.
Without fact or evidence, and people are coming to say, koleto yen, and I'm wondering, guys, have you? Because me, I've been dragged though. I remember. I mean, I've been dragged on Twitter. I mean, on Twitter, phone me no me low mo dead. They couldn't snip that.
It's interesting how I never see conversations like this because about they do these things don't interest. Once I see it, what's that?
But
On platforms like that, I have 10,000 comments. Now I just open it, scroll to the last one. Okay, what means
me, I'm
don't
like
get
that.
out?
I'm also like that. But see, Pamami, if there's people that I know that when they come for you, they must break your jugular. And sometimes, I get it, and it's true.
All right, Nisheta so none.
Well, I'm being no, because these days, beauty, the time not allowed to reply anymore.
Then why? See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
You have a second address. You have a third.
You can see. I'm busy. My phone is buzzing.
There are times drop it. I'm not sure if this is right to say, right? But I'm sure there are times when you're telling yourself, I'm at the red Basham from Basham. And the reason you are able to say that is because there is something else. Even sometimes you realize that something else is the major contributor to your economy.
Yeah.
Takes us back to my first point. Politics should never be your first source of earning. So it should be a major source of earning.
So anybody who lives that way would have no reason to want to go down, that way. For if you have defended and come with your facts and it's getting dirty, just move away from it. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, and thank you so much for watching. I know that there's a lot to take away on this edition, and of course we are open to all the, if possible, drags, all the comments, all the reactions. That's why we are here. So, but then the message is absolutely clear. Ekiti is a place where you can thrive, you can grow, you can build, and you can reach the ends of the earth, still right here prospering in the state. And I'm so happy that I brought a litmus test to that far on the podcast today. Farmer Lawrence, that's Mr. Mayowa Ekundayo, who is the CEO of Post Harvest Grocery Store, and of course he is the visionary for the Safe Summit that happens every year. So thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, and I'm hoping that you will look back at the podcast and not feel like he did a lot. You said,
No. I mean, I thought about this a long time before coming here.
yeah, that's great. Thank you.
And this is a safe space too.
Thank you. It is a safe space.
All for the good.
And I hope that you will receive it with all safety. So, all right. Till the next time we'll be back on the One Nigeria podcast. I always, as always, wish you all the best.